The sports you love, the teams you can't live without.
Get a sense of urgency!
This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone. Hey, join Scotty G coming up today at RGS Exteriors from noon to 3, 4235 Farm Road in West Jordan. That's RGS Exteriors. Now, listen, Ben, when it comes to, and we'll dive into whether or not the Jazz stand a chance without Ace Bailey coming up here in a second. But you're like, we're all protective about our spouse or the people we love, right? When it comes to, other people who may be encroaching, right? But you're probably pretty go with the flow. I mean, you're a trust guy, and she's in the professional world, so I doubt you walk around all day jealous. But let me ask you this. If she was photographed sitting at a blackjack table late night in Vegas next to Joe Burrow, would you be like, I got to get that dude away from my gal?
I got to separate those two?
Yeah.
Joe is
just
cool.
them. Yeah.
Oh, just the two of them?
Just the two of them. Late night, Vegas, blackjack table.
There would be a follow-up question.
This happened to Jessica Alba.
Oh, okay.
Who was photographed in a late night. Well, she divorced her husband like a year ago, but she is with this guy, Danny Ramirez, who might be famous for something I don't know. Anyway, Danny quickly went to Instagram to say, no, it was just happenstance.
Okay.
But I think Joe Burrow would be one of the few people on the planet where you'd be like, oh, I better get over there.
Joe Cool.
I better run some interference. That's the quarterback, millions of dollars, kind of known for his
good-looking guy.
Suave good looks.
Yeah. I would be more worried if it was like, why are you there with Urban Meyer? That would be more.
Why Urban Meyer?
I don't know, the bar stuff of leaving the team in Cincinnati.
But see,
or whatever.
here's the thing. I don't think Urban Meyer would have a chance leaving that table with your beloved.
Correct.
Joe Burrow might.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Like Urban Meyer could sit next to my wife today and start hitting on her, and I'd just get out popcorn and be kind of thrilled to see how this thing ended.
Yeah, right.
But Joe Burrow settled it up?
Yeah. Correct. Yeah. Bad
now,
news.
Joe Theismann once broke into my conversation at a bar in Washington, D.C. while sitting next to my wife,
which was not the worst thing he's broken.
Oh. It was kind of one of those things where I was like, I know who this is, but am I
really?
1,000%?
I wouldn't recognize him.
No, I definitely recognized him, but it was one of those where I started doubting myself. And so then I just said, is your name Joe? But he did. Because I was trying to remember Cooper Manning's name.
Okay.
I was telling we're watching SportsCenter because this is before my buddy Justin got married, and we're having lunch, and I was like, God, what's that guy's name? There's the third, the old one. He doesn't even play. And all of a sudden, Joe goes, his name is Cooper.
Joe was a good-looking young guy.
Is your name Joe?
Yeah, Joe was a good-looking young man. Handsome guy. So I'm glad you recognized him.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Old Joe Theismann himself.
Yeah.
Changed his name to Theismann in college. To rhyme with Heisman, Ben.
Smart.
In one of the better PR campaigns in history because he couldn't go back.
It's good business. Jessica Alba not doing a whole lot other than showing up and she was in the halftime show, right? With Bad Bunny.
Oh, well, good for her.
She's finding football players. That would be maybe why I'm more skeptical. I'm like, why are you around all these football events now?
No Ace tonight, Ben. What are so many of these games come down to diagnosing what teams are actually wanting to do. Because Steph Curry is out of the lineup, right? But are the Warriors still wanting to win?
They are. They are trying to make the playoffs.
They're in the 8th right now?
Yeah, they just had Kristaps Porzingis, who they traded for in a very bizarre trade, I think, with the Atlanta Hawks. But they wanted to get rid of Jonathan Kuminga, so they got rid of Kuminga and got a usable piece back in Kristaps, who I guess conceivably, if he's around next year, could help them. Another big shooter next to Steph. He's not Lowry Markkinen, but he's an effective player and helps them with some rim protection. conceptually he does some things well, or theoretically is probably a better term. He just rarely plays. He's had this weird illness that he's been dealing with on and off for a while, and he thinks he's kind of gotten over it finally. I think he has POTS, which is kind of rare, but he's been in and out of the lineup quite a bit. But he did come back for the first time for the Warriors in their last game, and Draymond Green really raved about how well he's playing. They are in this awkward spot, which, again, someone's going to have to break this mold, and I'll be curious who does it, but of trading your superstar before you get to this kind of painful, slow death of the legacy you once had.
It's really sad, actually.
It is. It's weird that we keep seeing it. And again, I get it. The Jazz did it with Stockton and Malone. The Mavericks obviously did it with Dirk. The Lakers did it with Kobe. It doesn't help you. It doesn't put you in a better spot. If you could get something for those guys, it would be absolutely terrific. And I guess who cares at the end of their career if they play somewhere else? In all honesty, are Jazz fans that spoiled on Malone? Are they mad at Malone because he went to the Lakers? I know it's a little bit of an awkward final chapter, but still a statue out front.
Well, players aren't even making it as long as Malone. I guess Steph has been in the Bay Area for a long time. Of course I would buy into it's going to happen more rarely. Even with Malone, though, the Jazz did not make that decision themselves.
No, they didn't trade him.
Which is what happens a lot. They, in fact, offered him, I think it was like $25 million a year.
To play another year.
Which was unheard of at the time.
Yeah.
And he took a vet minimum salary to go play for the Lakers. Mm-hmm. So even in that circumstance, Carl kind of made the decision for them because John retired and he went ring chasing. Of course it's going to be awkward. I don't know, if we've seen a Patriots-esque run where you flip the team several times around the superstar. I think in any sport, it's going to be really difficult to do. But I'll tell you what I do know, that the Warriors have failed at it. And if we look back on that trade that did not happen for Lauri Markkanen, and if you believe the rumors that Brandon Podziemski was what held up that deal, it's so wild to think. Because I actually think it could have been possible for the Warriors. They had those down seasons where they were injured anyway. You hit on a couple of picks, and you make the right moves around it, and all of a sudden you've got an aging Steph and another roster. It's not common. It maybe has never happened. I do believe it is possible, and they were in position to do it. And I think they've botched it so badly that the only really – what are they going to be next year? They're not going to have Steve Kerr.
No, they're slowly getting worse. And I know Dunleavy, their GM's kind of said he expects Steve Kerr to be back now. I don't know. He's not on a contract.
Dunleavy's terrible.
Yeah, I agree. He's not.
You know what? The hairdo was terrible too. What's that guy's name? Bob Myers. It was Jerry West.
Who was
that
at the
guy,
Jazz game in Philly the other day.
Jerry West was the best front office guy of all time by leaps and miles. And then all of a sudden, everybody starts taking credit for something they didn't do, and we think people are smart where they aren't. But they haven't made the right moves around Steph since when?
Well, here's the crazy thing, and I'm not the first person to say this. This is kind of a narrative in NBA circles. But it's true. They did get their final chapter. They did win a championship in 2022, but people thought this would ignite the next,
No, they were
3
trying to
and
reboot
4
it.
years. You got your final. You got your crazy last dance championship. It just so happened that Steph was good enough that you thought, oh, maybe they'll be able to keep this alive. But you won another one post Kevin Durant. That was probably more than you deserved. The fact that they even got that done is impressive.
I think San Antonio could have done it if Kawhi stayed and didn't develop some of the bad habits that he developed.
No
right?
question.
That
Absolutely
was,
could have.
That was as lined up and ready to go as you could have possibly been, and it didn't work out. I don't know. We could look at other examples. I give Kevin O'Connor a lot of credit for flipping the Jazz roster between John and Carl. I mean, it was John and Carl, and then it was Jerry Sloan overachieving 500 season, and then it was disappointing first year of Carlos Boozer, Mehmet Okur, and then it was Western Conference Finals.
Yep.
I mean, that doesn't happen all that often.
No.
And was not them trying to merge and keep John and Carl on. So it's a hard thing what the Warriors are doing, but I do know that they're failing at it. And so if they were going to do the smart thing and loyalty and all that stuff aside, they should have traded Steph Curry yesterday.
Yeah, the weird thing is Steph is still so elite. He is still such a great player that when he's on the floor, if you were to put him next to Giannis, if you could pull off the blockbuster and get the other guy, I do think they could win another title because I think people like playing with Steph. Golden State's a well-run organization over the last 15 years. They have made mistakes. You're right. The car is running out of gas, no question about it. But for a decade, they were kind of the model franchise. And they were doing the thing that we're praising the Thunder for doing, which is they had superstars, they were winning championships, and they had these lottery picks coming up from teams. And they got a number 2 overall pick. And that was their own pick, but they got the Kuminga pick. It seemed like they were in a really good spot to continue to keep this thing alive. And winning 4 in whatever 7 or 8 years is really impressive, but they have finally the clock finally seems like it struck midnight, but they still kind of look at themselves as a destination for, if not Lowry, maybe LeBron this summer, or maybe Giannis if those talks get revisited.
That would have been a perfect move for them. They should have done that.
Yeah.
I wonder if you would have them look in the rearview mirror. I was talking to one of the broadcast assistants who's a fan of the Warriors, and she was talking about how there's a Snap Talk account out there, the Brandon Pajemski 30-point watch or something like that, and it's been years. I don't know, but Golden State's going a whole lot of nowhere, but they are indeed trying. So, do the Jazz really have to not play all these guys to take the L?
I think the Jazz are tired of stressing it. Full honesty, I think the Jazz are tired of being like, how is this game close in the fourth quarter?
I totally would get where they're coming from.
I mean, I think it's stressful for Jazz fans. I see it from Jazz fans that are just like, how Jazz are going to win this game? And look, I think there is, as I'd like to call it, tank derangement syndrome with some Jazz fans that are just like, any loss is the end of the world. The fact that a game's even close in the second half is the single worst thing that could ever happen to the Jazz. It's like, guys, they're sitting on a lottery ticket. They will do what they have to hold on to it. And they will figure out how to do it, and their jobs depend on it more than your fandom does. So they will find a way to get it done, and they know the impact of every win and loss. I promise. Right. And they know what they're comfortable with.
Don't pay attention to that.
Don't pay attention to that.
If you watch that game against the Bucks, it really was unbelievable. I mean, the Jazz team is, speaking of shorthanded and short overall, and all of the things. And they're playing everybody at least 15 minutes. You know what I mean? It's not like Sheboy's playing 2. And Milwaukee, a team that's actually trying and has Giannis Antetokounmpo on it, can't pull away in the fourth quarter?
Right. No, I'm with you.
Honestly, Will's got to be like, dude, you go
crusty and the ball spinning on the finger of the Harlem Globetrotters. Like, just take the ball.
Adam Silver, find the
He's spinning the ball on his finger. Just take it.
Find the Bucks. That's who you should be finding.
Yeah, exactly. I'm totally with you.
Bucks.
Find the Miami Heat for trying to win a game against the Utah Jazz nobodies, with all due respect to the players that were in uniform and are extraordinarily talented people. But you have Bam Adebayo and all your starters out there, and you're getting run off the court by Bryce Sensabaugh at the time being the best player on the floor for the Jazz. Like, you deserve a fine.
Find the Heat.
That mediocrity is a black eye for the NBA.
It so is.
You're one of our franchises. Like, you're in one of the great cities. You have a great run. You have a Hall of Famer in Pat Riley. Why won't you take the ball off his finger? And the Jazz are just like, 3-point play.
Just take it. Take the ball.
And, that's the second year in a row they beat the Heat in Miami.
In Miami. Yep.
Because one was the Bryce game.
Yep.
Went crazy.
He'd played well in Milwaukee the last year as well. He kind of got it in the fourth quarter and played well. So maybe that's a place he's comfortable. Anyways.
Love playing him in those Eastern Conference gyms where I see him once a season.
Yep.
Be nice if you played that way in OKC.
Yep.
Yeah. That'd be helpful. Somebody over in the West.
Yeah, big time.
Play that way against the Clippers.
So we'll see tonight. I don't know who's going to be out there.
Well, if the injury list turns out to all those questionables turn out to be don't plays, I just don't see
the pathway.
I don't see a pathway. No point guard and no big. Because I don't count Phil as a traditional big.
Even though he's starting at 5.
Or
yes.
Kevin Love, for that matter.
Right. No, again, right now, the Jazz...
Sheepway is, I guess.
Injury report, and he's like 6'7". Like, Oscar is not tall.
No.
Oscar is more Charles Barkley than he is, Shaquille O'Neal, Marquis. Yeah. Keontae George... Keontae George, Isaiah Collier, Ace Bailey, all questionable, and of course Lowry Markkanen, Yusuf Nurkic, Jaren Jackson Jr., Walker Kessler, all out.
Can you imagine if the beat came back Derek Fisher style?
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, everyone expecting, like the Jazz
Again,
are
the beak
down.
is Yusuf Nurkic.
The Jazz are
Thread
down
nose
10
surgery.
in the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden the curtains part at the tunnel, and the beak walks out.
He's here.
And it's like, let's get out there. Get on my back, boys. Let's get out there and win a basketball game.
Yeah.
And then nurked, and Draymond couldn't do anything about it. I mean, that's what movies are made out of, Ben.
Yeah. Triple-double.
Miraculous rhinoplasty recovery to come back and win basketball game.
Be great.
Now, I don't know if it's officially rhinoplasty. In fact, I don't think it is. But, creative license.
Yeah. I think it has more to do with breathing, the nasal
Is
cavity.
that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, stay tuned. We'll have more Jake and Ben coming up straight ahead, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Who's got it better than us?
Your home for the best sports coverage in Utah. You're listening to Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We're teaming up with Beehive Meals for honoring the people that impact youth sports in our communities. Nominate the youth sports volunteer for the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week at kslsports.com/contests, and listen every Thursday to JJ and Alex for the winner. It's the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week.
Isaiah Collier officially out for the Utah Jazz.
Illness?
Illness.
Because it was personal reasons the other night, right? God, would you rather have personal reasons or illness? I think I'd rather have illness.
Yeah, everyone speculates about what you've done or if you've had a child or
personal reasons.
Died.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have no idea what
That's
happened.
rarely good. I'd rather just have the flu, I think. Christian, how did we not hit the breaking news sounder that this is the 6-year anniversary of
Did you do a breaking news for an anniversary?
Of Ben's
break in?
Ben's butt crack going viral?
Not butt crack. There was no butt crack involved.
There
was cloth.
Out of all the people that I know, Ben has the most famous butt crack. Out of all the people I know personally, Ben has the most famous backside.
Backside is one thing, butt crack is another. 6
Look
years
at the
ago
video.
today, Rudy Gobert touched all the microphones, making a joke out of the COVID thing, only for us to all learn 24 hours later that he had COVID and was like the first reported person in Utah to have it.
Oh, it shut down the country. It really
Rudy
did.
Gobert started COVID.
Yeah, he didn't cause it, but
That's what you would think from that video.
yeah.
No, he didn't cause it, and honestly, I will defend Rudy, but he was absolutely the first really high profile person that got him, but specifically in sports, because the big topic, Ben, I don't know how well you remember it, but the big topic was, are they going to be able to proceed? Golden State had already said they weren't going to have fans. I think the Mountain West Conference tournament had already said
The
that
night before.
they were not going to have fans.
Yeah.
I mean, it was on this
It was coming.
on this precipice, and then for Rudy to test positive the way that he did right as the game was about to start, and it went from there. It's not Rudy's fault, but it was the story that shut down the world, and your backside was a huge part of that story. Huge. There were people in Austria that are familiar with Ben's.
I did interviews in Australia. I did interviews in Europe. I did.
Say, sir, was that your backside?
I had one lady.
Get that backside on the phone.
I called her and she's like, what was your experience? I'm like, well, if you watch that video, I'm the one who stands up right in front. She's like, why were your pants pulled down? I was like,
No, you don't get it. I skate.
well,
I ride the skateboard.
I'm getting my crack out there. What do you want from me?
I don't know what to tell you about the genetics of my family, but that's not where we're built. We're just kind of flat all the way down. I don't know what to tell you. That's not my fault. I can cinch up a belt as tight as I want, and it's still going to happen. So, I don't own suspenders. I don't know what to tell you, lady. Sorry for jumping on with you.
It's wild that story was kind of the beginning of the end for that version of the Utah Jazz, because that in all honesty, it put that particular roster under such a microscope.
Yeah.
And then remember, Donovan Mitchell tested positively shortly thereafter, and then it was this big thing. And I can only imagine behind the scenes what it was like. And I don't think Donovan and Rudy were the best of friends to begin with.
Correct.
And then you have all this anonymous reporting. Amick was part of it, right? It was
Shams
The Athletic.
was a big part of it, yeah.
Where they report on this schism in the locker room, and unsalvageable comes up. They even had a quote from somebody inside the Jazz that was saying that Donovan was throwing passes to Rudy so he would fail and shut his big bazoo.
It was a bit of a perfect storm, which was Rudy had always been a little bit of a joke in the NBA because of his limited offensive game and how awkwardly he moved. Plus, he's not all that beloved in any locker room he's in. He's just willing to call out teammates. He's still doing it in Minnesota. He's willing to look out for Rudy instead of being, the most selfless person, despite the fact that I think his style of play is extraordinarily selfless. Donovan, I think, has always had a little bit of a germ thing. Like, I think that played into it, an illness thing that he's wary of, which I think everybody was wary of COVID at the time, and we didn't know how serious or who it would affect at the highest levels, and it was relatively novel to the United States still at that point. So, yeah, for all of that to come together in this centralized specific area, had Steph Curry gotten it when Steph was beloved, everyone would have been like, oh, wow. If Steph can get it, anybody can get it. But like Rudy being the most French person on the planet and being like disliked already, and it was apparently because he was hosting people internationally. It's kind of the rumor of how it got here. It's just like not how it got here. It was going to get here and everything, but how he got it.
It'd been here long before, and
Of
that
course,
stuff was so ridiculous and almost just too convenient
Correct,
to make it more of a story.
But it was so convenient that it was Rudy.
Right.
Like it was the perfect person to pin it on for the haters that exist in the world and the NBA. And Rudy was a very easy target.
So that stinks for him. But as far as they come back in 2021, Ben. And they go on this run where you think unsalvageable what? Like they're creaming all these teams. And then the playoffs just bring out the reality, what most teams are that just does. And the reality of that team was it was not going anywhere. As fun as Donovan was to watch, and he was. And a lot of people around here liked Rudy and still do, and I think what he did contribute to winning basketball. But I think there was some mismanagement around the edges, and the team was just never going to get over the hump. Are there still people that question that decision?
To move on?
To move on from Donovan and Rudy?
Probably just because there's people who fill every demographic and every opinion. But overwhelmingly, no, I think that was the right move for the Jazz. And I think most fans recognize that at this point. And, we will see maybe the Cavaliers are able to take some type of step forward. I don't particularly think they're going to, though they're winning at a slightly higher rate now with James Harden. But no, the Jazz had run that team had run its course, and as opposed to what we're talking about right now with the Golden State Warriors, which is you can keep things on, you can keep your roster together well beyond the point that it's been spoiled. The Jazz wanted to avoid that, and they recognized that selling high, like man, I don't know. You look back, maybe Mikal Bridges. With the Knicks, he got 6 firsts essentially. Like they paid a very rich price to get a non-All-Star. There's not a lot. And
it just ruined him, by the way.
Yeah, by the way, yeah, he had 0 points in their blowout loss yesterday.
Just ruined him because he was a fantastic
really
player.
Cool player.
He probably still is.
He's really good. He's just buried on a team that has too many.
Jalen Brunson is busy dribbling.
So is Cat. It's just a little too much nonsensical. Which can bring up another point we should get to in a second, but. I don't know if anyone has matched the price still for what the Jazz got for both Rudy and Donovan. And in fact, the further we get away from this and the better sense of all that the Jazz have, like Lauri Markkanen for Donovan Mitchell straight up is not a terrible trade. Jazz would have lost it if it was that straight up. But on top of it, you've got draft picks that you still haven't paid off and are a part of, you've used those draft picks to go out and get Jaren Jackson Jr. Like that's a real coup. Rudy Gobert for this version of Keontae George straight up is probably pretty fair.
Let alone Walker.
Kessler, and you still have another swap coming up. So, and also helped you get Jaren Jackson Jr. So, no, I think ultimately the Jazz had a pretty fair trade. They made do. It took a while. It's been 4 years. But they're going to get back to the playoffs mainly with the pieces they got as a result of these trades, not kind of fluky otherness. In fact, I will tell you, it's their own lottery picks that have not panned out that are probably the reason why the Jazz are still a lottery team this year.
But that was the point.
Yeah.
That's the point of doing it.
Yeah, exactly right.
Is you set yourself up to rebuild.
Have lots of bites at the apple,
And-
because if you are only betting on hitting on your lottery picks and you end up with Taylor Hendricks and Cody Williams and you don't have a way of getting out, this rebuild's going to last 5 more years.
Look at Minnesota, who did push everything into the middle of the table, and then they've made, obviously, the Cat deal and some stuff around
Back-to-back
the
conference finals appearances?
But I still don't think they're going anywhere.
They're not getting past what they did. I don't think they're going to win a title.
No, I don't either.
So
It's hard. Got to make the right moves around the edges. You got to do the right thing. And the Conley move was not it. I think they were hoping it was it. It wasn't.
yes, you have to make the right move, and then the truth is you have to make the next
Then the next
3
and
and
the next.
4 and
Yeah.
5 right moves, and that's the hard part. I think the Jazz right now have made the right first move with Jaren Jackson Jr., which might be the second move beyond, getting Lowry and the draft picks, but they've made the right move. Now they've got to hit on all these next moves too. I mean, it's got to be Ace has to be the right pick, and this pick that they make this year's got to be the right guy. Like they have to keep hitting.
Yep. And it doesn't mean you can't have a miss in there either, because that's going to happen. But you have to put correct decisions together, and they've got to be really good. Old Samuel Presti down there has booted several decisions, but he's also gotten a lot of them right. And he got really lucky that Paul George re-signed there.
Yeah. Yeah, you need
Really
a lot of luck.
lucky.
Jazz are going to
Yeah.
need a lot of luck still if they want to avoid, which is funny, they would kill for back-to-back conference finals appearances the way the Timberwolves have had. But if you want to get to that next level, you're going to need the next real stroke of luck.
Well, now the T-Wolves are going to have to reboot around Anthony Edwards, or they're going to become the Warriors, which we're going to see
Yeah.
tonight. Although Anthony Edwards significantly younger. But you get my point.
Going back to the 6-year anniversary of unsalvageable and what Rudy Gobert did.
No. It's the 6-year anniversary of your backside going viral.
Whatever you want to
The
call it.
unsalvageable was later. Don't bury the lead.
Don't bury the butt crack. The truth is, the reason the Jazz didn't get further is because Rudy and Donovan were too flawed of players, not because Rudy got COVID or Rudy gave Donovan COVID or those two didn't get along. There are a lot of teammates. Ask Mike Smith every week. Nobody liked Kevin McHale. Still nobody likes Kevin McHale. That team won so many championships because Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, and Robert Parrish were insanely good basketball players. If Rudy and Donovan were better, the Jazz would have won more, and they weren't better. They were too fatally flawed.
When you give autographs, do you do a little butt crack drawing?
Yeah.
Like just a silly butt crack drawing?
I only
like-
signed, that's what my headshot is.
Yeah, right. Like
Me pulling up my pants.
How many butt cracks have you signed?
Yeah, I sign others and photos of my own.
Oh, that'd be so funny if you got a black and white glossy of your backside standing in that shot and signed it.
Funny, I saw it but it was on Comedy Central. It was on John. What is the Weekend on Monday? Whatever. What's the guy who used to
John
do Comedy
Oliver?
Central? John Oliver on his HBO show. That clip was it was all over CNN. Like it was truly everywhere. Outside of my dad randomly working with Ted Bundy 40 years ago, my claim to fame is
That backside. Does your mom go, I've never been more proud of my boy?
she literally said that this morning because I think maybe my wife put it in the family text or maybe it was my brother. They're like, today's the anniversary. And everyone was making butt crack jokes. And my mom said,
Sure
proud
know
mama.
how to make a mom proud.
Yeah. Partly her fault.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah. Sorry.
How was it her fault?
Genetics, brother.
Listen, there's such a thing as a belt. You could tighten it
I have a belt.
Uh-huh.
I had a belt.
Tighten it up a little bit.
Trying.
There you go. You and Serena on Ozempic. Maybe you ought to stop. No, she's on a different one, right? All right.
Wegovy. It's all the same thing,
I don't
right?
know. Stay tuned.
Have you seen Charles Barkley, by the way?
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, he is
It's gross.
Skinny
I don't want to
Barkley.
talk about it. What's going on with Charles is wild.
Looks real thin.
Wild. All right, stay tuned. We'll wrap up Jake and Ben coming up next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
The sports you love, the teams you can't live without.
Get a sense of urgency!
This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Two niggas on their ways, talking sports. They got him Matrix and on soul. Loves his tie-dye, Ben's got style with his scarves. Oh my.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We have breaking news, Ben. I don't know if it's really breaking, but it's the first time I saw it. Travis Kelce's making a return to the Chiefs.
Yeah, I kind of seemed like they were leaning in that direction. Free agency opens today, right?
Taylor's coming back?
Back to Kansas City.
I hope Travis takes his off-season diet more seriously this year than he did last year. That was the big critique, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't physically in the top-notch shape.
Correct.
He's great. I mean,
He's one of the great of all time.
He can decide when he wants to go, but the production department fell off a lot last year, and it did for the entire Chiefs team, obviously, as they had a rough year. But
they need to retool around Mahomes, obviously.
Yeah, I wonder how that goes.
Yeah, we'll see how that looks. There's no guarantee they will win another one, but certainly rather have Mahomes than not. Some local moves, though. Tyler Algier signing with the Arizona Cardinals. Very cool for Tyler Algier, who's had a terrific career early on as a 7th-round draft pick. And then undrafted, Tyler Huntley signs a 2-year deal with the Ravens. At least sounds like he'll get some money in his signing bonus, up to $11 million. What a cool story.
So we've had some like iconic videos go viral from the local sports scene. Kalen Clay.
Yep.
With dropping into the goal line, which that's rough. Zach Wilson doing his throw it workout that changed the world. What about Tyler Algier's chase down strip?
The jump punch?
You remember what I mean?
The sideline punch against Arizona, right?
Is that who I can't even picture the opponent. I just picture him, that chase down like a
homing missile.
Like a dang panther.
Yeah.
I mean, it was homing missile. That's probably good. And then to jump and punch that thing out. Guy was a linebacker.
Arizona State.
Flips over to running back. Does nothing but ball out. Great dang story. Makes it to Atlanta. Has had a really nice career so far. I hope he keeps that Cardinals stink off him too much, because there is a little bit of that there.
No, they got rid of Kyler Murray. The stink is gone. He takes some of the stink with him.
Yeah, the Cardinal stink's been there for a lot longer than Kyler Murray.
It was very telling that the teams that are taking on all this dead money with the quarterbacks they're waiving are the Miami Dolphins, the Arizona Cardinals, the Raiders, and a little bit the Falcons. Maybe the Falcons don't apply as much, but they're waiving Kirk Cousins.
They're paying
where he was,
a boat,
right?
Yeah, a boatload to do it. Yeah,
but it makes sense that the worst teams are the teams that have all this dead money. The Dolphins stink. Well, yeah, you made a bad decision with Tua in the first place, and the Cardinals stink. Well, they made a bad decision with Kyler Murray giving them all this money, and the Raiders have made a bad decision with Geno. Now, the Broncos found a way to overcome it by getting a good rookie quarterback to step in, despite all the dead money from Rusty. But for the most part, you can tell who the bad teams are based on how much dead money they have on their books.
And let's be honest, the Donks are kind of bad still.
They're still bad. Yeah, bad fan base.
Bad everything. Bad ownership.
Bad quarterback.
You called him throw picks.
Yeah, still going to.
Going to lose some big games. I have no doubt. Man, I hope the Donks lose every game.
But good for our locals. Cool to see our locals making some money. Always happy for those guys.
Scotty G and Friends is coming up next. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the Jake and Ben Show, 97.5.
Thanks, Christian.
The KSL Sports Zone.